17 days ago, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, and Xana Kernodle were stabbed to death in a home near campus. Police still don't have a suspect or murder weapon. Now, students and communities across the state are gathering to honor the lives of the 4 University of Idaho students. My co-anchor Morgan Romero talked with Idaho State Police about the investigation today. She is live in Moscow right now ahead of tomorrow's vigil at the U of I. Morgan?
Hey Doug, we got here this afternoon. We went to the home 1122 King Road where this horrific attack happened. I will say a very eerie feeling here in Moscow. It's very cold. I know students just returned from Thanksgiving break. Some, as we've been reporting, chose not to come back. I will say though, after speaking to Idaho State Police Communications Director Aaron Snell, he said, quote, they are making substantial progress in this case. We haven't gotten a lot of very substantial updates through their communications in recent days, as many as we were getting initially. But he does say that today, and we were there, saw this happening, that tow trucks were taking 5 cars from the scene, from that house on King Road, and they were towing them away to a location off-site, a long-term and more secure location. There, they're going to gather more evidence and do any testing that needs to be done. Snell says most of the evidence collection at this point is done. They are still getting more tips and leads, and they will collect more evidence as time progresses and more things come in. He says right now, detectives are mostly in the stage of analyzing evidence after it's been processed, which is allowing them to paint a clearer picture of what happened and piecing together the information that's coming in. I talked to a neighbor who lives directly across the street from where this happened. She says she was home at the time of the stabbing. She was breastfeeding her baby, but she says everything was really quiet. She was exhausted. She didn't hear anything happen. She locks her doors now, though. She didn't before, and says that they're on heightened alert. They're taking more precautions, and she says the community is definitely still shaken by all of this that happened. But more importantly, what she wants right now for the community, for the victims and their families, is for the rumors and speculation to stop, because it's not doing anyone any favors.
We're reminding people that this isn't a rumor mill. This isn't some episode of a criminal show that, is going to be over in an hour. There's a lot of evidence still being processed. There's a lot of tips that are still coming in.
This is a criminal investigation, and so we can't throw all of our cards on the table and tell everybody everything that we have. And so it does cause for some conflict and some anger and some disillusionment about, are we actually working the case? A lot of speculation comes up when in the void of information being provided.
Law enforcement has received more than 1,000 tips and more than 260 videos have been submitted. They're trying to build a picture and go back and rebuild what occurred because, as we mentioned earlier, they do not have a suspect or a weapon. They are looking from surveillance videos, any videos that were taken the night before the 4 students were murdered, as well as the morning of. And Aaron Snell really wanted to get the message out to students that it doesn't matter what you were doing that night. If it's something he said your parents might not be proud of, he wants you to send those videos in because it could really help them piece together everything. The FBI is here. They have their behavioral analysis units working on this. At this time, he says they are not providing a suspect profile to the public because he says that information is really pertinent to detectives. Again, that vigil is going to be held on campus tomorrow at the University of Idaho in the Kibbe Dome. It's moved from outside to inside due to weather. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain time. We will have that on air KTVB as well as on ktvb.com. And as Doug alluded to earlier, several other colleges, universities, and schools throughout the state of Idaho are going to be having their own tribute standing in solidarity with U of I and the victims. They're going to be turning on their athletic lights, for example, to stand in unity with them. Doug?
That's right, Morgan, as you mentioned, we are going to be carrying the full vigil tomorrow live here on News Channel 7 from 6 until 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I know you'll be there to cover it as well, and we'll look for your reporting on that. And we'll see you and Brian back here tonight on the news at 10 as well.